Your Cox here with a new microphone setup. This is still the F-Deuce microphone, but I was able to figure out how to make it so it would get closer to my face, so I could make the sounds much louder. And while I'm working on this project, okay, which is lessons for woke DEI AAA game devs, okay, very important lessons for them to learn, okay, because basically what you got is people who are trying to break into AAA gaming to shoehorn in their message of false diversity, anger and hatred and fear and jealousy, and envy, and out of touch, ignorant viewpoints about people. They don't like white men. Christians, things like that. They don't like them, and basically what they're doing is they're trying to shoehorn in their message any way they can. And the problem is with this stuff is that what they're doing is they're making games that they like the look of enough to shoehorn in that message, and by doing that, they ruin a bunch of games. They make the games, but the thing is, the games look horrible. And aren't very good. Basically, in all ways, they just aren't as good as the game people who make games to have fun. AAA games are designed to basically be the cutting edge of gaming. That's what AAA games are for. Cutting edge of gaming. They're designed for people to make the best, or who like to make games with the best graphics, the best gameplay, the best stories, the best characters. Just so many great things that they can do. I saw the PlayStation State of Play. Okay, there's no script on this one because I'm working on a big old script right now. State of Play. Okay. They had so many cool games out there, okay, and it's like you can easily see what's going on with some of these games. You had Saros. Saros is this game that looked like a weird, still looks a little weird at first, but then I found out it's related to Returnal, so of course it's gonna look weird, but it's also a bullet hell, basically second, I think third-person shooter bullet hell type game. You run around as a person, in this case a dude, but in Returnal's case it was a woman. I call her Space Mom, and she basically is running around in these creepy environments, interplanetary environments, trying to get out of there, and basically Returnal, you saw her. She was basically crash landed on this alien planet, and then was walking around with her gun, laser gun or whatever it was, trying to avoid enemies shooting bullet hell attacks at her. So she dodging those and shooting back and whatnot, and getting upgrades for her gun, all kinds of different things. It's really cool. And then moving around. She's moving around, she's doing her things, and then she comes across other people who have died, and she's like corpses of people who have died, astronauts. Who? Oh, excuse me. I forgot. The phone. Stop that.
The anime GTA game and
I'll be back for you, girl. I'll be back for you. No. Well, that's the thumbs up. Very dark. Anyway, so here's the deal. Girl basically is seeing what I would call basically corpses of people in spacesuits just like hers. Lying around. She can use the weapons that they had on them to upgrade her weapon, and stuff like that, armor upgrades she can get from them and other things. And she fights little bosses and whatnot. It's a really cool game. And then she's seeing like weird things on this alien planet, desolate alien planet that make no sense. Like her house on the farm she used to live on, and stuff like that. And she's like, "What's going on here?" So there's all kinds of crazy mind bending stuff going on in the game. It's really cool. So if Saros is anything like that, that'd be great to see, And you see Saros, he's running around this Anthem style particle effects going on and stuff like that. I haven't seen since I saw Anthem. All kind of sparks and things flying all over the place. It's crazy. And he basically uses his shield to block bullets, but enemy attacks will also absorb the energy from them and then throw it back at the enemies. It's super cool. You can quick dash. You can do all kinds of other things like that. It looks really cool. Saros looks amazing. All right, that's what AAA game is supposed to be. It's supposed to be a game that's amazing, looks amazing, plays amazing. Okay, and hopefully if it's like anything like Returnal, it'll have a great, amazing story to it. That's what Saros is supposed to be like. There were some awesome anime games, and now a lot of people, especially game journalists and woke DI pushers, are cringing. And coping and seething and super ticked off about anime games doing well, being featured. But again, they make those games to make money. Okay? And now a GTA-like game is coming out. That's an anime game, There's Spider-Man swinging effects. There's, running around beating up henchmen. There's all kinds of stuff going on in this game that is just totally showing off that you can make cool, fun games if you put your mind into it. Instead of trying to shoehorn in a crappy message, make a fun game. And you put your message in if you want to, but make a fun game. So they're doing that, and they're doing that. There's anime games out there that are just a lot of fun. Remakes, they showed off in the PlayStation Today Play. There was an anime game. I think they showed it off in the PlayStation Today Play. That one, the GTA one. I think they showed it off. I've seen commercials for it elsewhere, and people talking about it elsewhere too. So it's gonna do well. I can just tell you that right now. Game journalists are ticked off because the girls look good, and it looks like a fun game, and there's no message of fake diversity, woke DEI bull crap in it. So it's going to do well. You can be lambasted in the mainstream media all you want. You can go ahead, but it's going to make money, just like Black Myth Wukong. It's like Stellar Blade, like Warhammer Space Marine 2. Go ahead and cope and seethe on that. Get ticked off about that. Now, then, that's the issue. So we see two different kinds of awesome AAA games. Soros and this Nata, whatever it is. And other games like that. Side-scrolling platformers and other games like that. They're looking kind of cool. That's great too. They're not AAA, but they're looking good too. But then came X-Men's, the Insomniac Spider-Man, Insomniac Wolverine game. Now, here's the issue. So I'm going to title this thing a better version of Names Mean Nothing, or I say, I can make the Names Mean Nothing a series, because we gotta go through a whole series of Names Mean Nothing talks. Okay, so this would be Names Mean Nothing 2 or something like that. Basically, we have Wolverine, and he's looking horribly, amazingly violent, which they did have him be violent before in previous generations. So that's nice for Wolverine, seeing him slash enemies and stab through them in all kinds of horrible ways that, that kind of had it coming because they were trying to kill him. So yeah, there you go. But then you see Mystique. Mystique looks super old, and I'm not even talking like, she's in disguise looking super old. No. This is Mystique untransformed. She looks super old and gnarly. She got woke face. Girl got a classic case of woke face. Okay, and that stuff is just like, that girl's looking gnarly. Come to find out that the people someone who worked on Concord and made those horrible designs, those woke DEI filled designs, is working on this game. So it's like, oh, that's not good. That's another point, against it, right there. And they didn't even show Jean Grey. Last time I saw Jean Grey in that game, she looked like Alanis Morissette. Now, I'm saying nothing wrong with looking like Alanis Morissette. That's Alanis Morissette. She's kind of cute. But here's the problem. Jean Grey is a young woman, 20-something years old, 20, 25, 30 pushing it, but still, she is beautiful. She is amazingly hot. Young woman. And, basically she's like Cyclops' love interest. Cyclops is a young man who's like, finds his love interest, finds Jean Grey, and is like, heck yes, that girl's the girl for me. They have babies, and those babies are Cable, Nate Grey, all kinds of other characters. Just so many different things they could do, because they're hot, young and hot, and just want to go at it and stuff. This Jean Grey looks super old. Looks like the girl basically is a divorcee. She just looks horrible. And I noticed that they didn't even show her in the Wolverine trailer, the latest Wolverine trailer. Because I know what's going on. It's interesting though. They're figuring it out, and I'm going to help them figure it out more with my big old project here. My lessons for woke DI pushers. But right now, this is called Names Mean Nothing. maybe the X-Men origin Wolverine, X-Men Wolverine, Wolverine, basically. Names mean nothing Wolverine, perhaps I call it. But anyway, so yeah, I'm sorry. You can see how just out of place and out of touch woke DEI pushers are with these games, because it's just like, there you go. We had Saros. Guy looks like a normal dude, normal dude. Returnal girl was definitely in the 40s or 50s or whatever, but that's okay. Space Mom was in her, definitely getting up in the ages, but that's okay. She's an original character. That's one of the things about woke DEI pushers. Stop trying to take over successful companies. You just destroy them, and to start messing around and making your own stuff. It may not do so well, but that's nothing new for you. At least it's yours. At least it's something you made, and it's like, oh yeah, say take Returnal for example. You made someone made a super old character who's running around. No, not super old, but an older lady running around. So she's not conventionally beautiful, and she's just running around, doing her thing. It's like, okay, I can play as that, because she's there. This is an original game. This is a new game. Okay, When you're like, no, let's make these characters that used to be super hot young women, old and nasty looking, especially one that can change her shape to look like whatever humanoid she wants to. It's just bad. Names mean nothing because woke DI pushers are trying to use the names of things to make their game, to shorten in their message, and it fails every time because it's like, okay, yeah, cool, the Archiverse. I was like, yeah, cool. I want to see the Archiverse. What was it called? Rocksteady making a new game. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. That doesn't necessarily sound like anything else they've made, but whatever. Still, Rocksteady, they're known for great games. Let's have some free flow combat. Let's play as, the superheroes, perhaps, maybe, do all that kind of stuff. I'm not doing none of that. Jumping and shooting was the main gameplay mechanic. You had a Justice League hate fiction story made by Sweet Baby Incorporated. Fight me in the comments if you think that someone else made Stephen Hill and Jamie Walker made that, which they did not make. Gameplay was live service slop, game was a failure, horrible failure. Names you nothing. They have new games coming out that are like, I had never heard of these games before. I don't know these names, but they're amazing. And it's like, okay, names mean nothing. The old companies getting taken over by woke DI pushers, making it forced out, forced out woke DI slop. It's not nearly as good as the new innovative people. That's the issue. That's going to happen. That's why names mean nothing anymore. Because they keep trying to take over. That's why they need to start making their own stuff, and then be like, okay, we have new stuff too. Hey, look, new stuff. It's like, okay, it's not very good. Moving on. Instead of, okay, dang it, R.I.P. Rocksteady, R.I.P. BioWare, R.I.P. Insomniac, oh my gosh, R.I.P. Naughty Dog. Dang it, they used to be so good. What happened? That's what we say now, because of woke DI pushers. They've started shoehorning that stuff in their games. And so that's why names mean nothing. So see you guys next time. Going to continue working on this big old project. There's a bunch of other projects as well. See you guys next time. Check me out on YouTube and DeviantArt.